Shalom, Yabashim Al Shabakathum. To my brothers, Yahweh Shemar Lathum Bashim Al Shai. To my sisters, this is Preaching Officer Kala with the Isupk in Milwaukee. We started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated or Salah here. We are the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana. We've been around since 1969, teaching the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who they are according to the scriptures. We are not affiliated with any other group or organization. Today is Wednesday. We are bringing you the law class. You know what I'm saying? I see. I gotta do this. I can't prepare today. Slide. This is the Wednesday night law class. I'm coming to you today to talk about what's going on. We got this war going on over there in the Middle East between Palestine and the so-called, I'm not even gonna say so-called, the imposters, the Israelite imposters, the Jewish man, if you will. They are at war right now, and they're trying to rope the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans and everybody else into their situation that's going on. People want you to be pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, pro-whatever. When we've been going through this crap for over 400 years, and we still ain't got no saving in what we doing or living. You know what I'm saying? We got blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians always dying every day due to our oppressor. We got people getting unalived for reading books, going to the grocery store, grabbing Skittles, saying hi to a pale-faced devil, which you shouldn't be doing in the first place. You should not be going towards a pale-faced devil and whistling towards them or sitting there showing them any kind of affection, because they are not your friend. They are your enemy. They are not your kind. You should be attracted to your own people. I don't understand why blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians go after the pale-faced devils anyway, when we have a multitude of flavors of women. We have pretty much the Baskin Robbins of women, if you will. We got 32 flavors of different kind of women of the 12 tribes. And they're all beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that's going on is this pagan holiday that's coming up, Thanksgiving. If you are a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian and you are celebrating this day, it's distasteful, disgraceful. I'm disappointed in you. Because that day is not the celebration of thanks or giving thanks. The celebration of Thanksgiving is the genocide of the Native American Indians. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I had an article for it. Give me 1 second. Those of you celebrating that, you should just think about what you're celebrating and why you celebrate it. That wasn't our customs. That wasn't what we were taught to do. That's not the day of a high holy day that was given to us. That was a pagan holiday that was killed into us, instilled into us by murder and genocide. This is the history of the Thanksgiving from the Native American perspective. You know what I'm saying? And then right afterwards, which is crazy because right afterwards you got Thanksgiving and then you got Black Friday. Black Friday. Do you know what Black Friday really is? Black Friday is where they were selling niggas, slaves, slack, excuse the language, slaves for half the price that they would normally sell because they couldn't get rid of them. But you go out and you celebrate it. You go out and buy everything that's at the store half off. You don't know no better. I understand that. But the truth has been around since 1969, teaching the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the truth about what's going on. I mean, the scriptures say, if any man have an ear, let him hear. You know what I'm saying? So you got an ear, listen up. The day after Thanksgiving was the day that they were selling the slaves half priced at an auction, or they'd sit there and have price tags around them. Do you know what that instills into us? That we're nothing but property, and they can do whatever they want to, which is what they were doing. They got away with it for so many years. Why? Because we were in trouble and we are under punishment of the Most High, because we was doing pretty much the same thing that we doing now, worshiping other idols and other gods, praying to other people. I mean, other people's gods instead of our own. Celebrating Thanksgiving. That's going against the Most High. The Most High don't want us doing that. He don't want us celebrating Thanksgiving. He doesn't. Okay, now the real history of Thanksgiving. It says the mainstream version of the Thanksgiving story paints a picture of courageous Christian settlers braving the perils of the New World, and with the help of some friendly natives, finding a way to make a new life for themselves in the days around Thanksgiving. Many educators focus on this happy story, helping students make American Indian headdresses out of construction paper and holding Thanksgiving reenactments in their classroom. I'm pretty sure everybody has been through this, because I had to do this when I was growing up in school too, because I was in a public school. And what they was teaching us was the natives, when they discovered America, when they finally discovered America, which I don't understand how you can discover something that was already existing. That's like me walking into your house, going in your bathroom, and was like, oh, I like it. I put this here. This is mine. I have claimed it as my own. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want me to do that. You wouldn't want me to come in your house and claim your house is my own. That's exactly what they did. They came over and they sat there and they claimed our land as their own, our property of what we owned, because we was already there. It's funny how in the history books in school they call us savages. When they came over and seeing how we lived, we were, because the Hispanic, the Aztec people, the Mexicans, they were there too. When the pale faced devils came over, the settlers, they came over. They seen how we lived. We were a cleanly people. Our hygiene was up to par. We had smell goods. We had a place to throw away waste. We sat there, and when we got done eating from the food and the carcasses, we had places to get rid of it. We knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? We kept clean. At that time, they would sit there in their own country. They threw Chamberlain pots of waste out the window into the streets. Yeah, it's disgusting. They came over and the Hispanic people looked at them like, oh no 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 no. They had to clean them with incense before they even did anything with them. Same with the natives. Natives we lived in tents, we lived off the land, but we still kept clean. We still made sure our bodies was clean, brushed our teeth and washed our faces and everything. You know what I'm saying? We made sure that we were a clean people. And then when they came over, we taught them that our ways. We taught them how to make soaps and we taught them to keep their body clean and everything. But that's getting off beside the point because that's a whole nother story on whew, good night. But in school, we were taught growing up that Native Americans and the Aztec Hispanic people were savages. Spicks and savages is what they called us. But to be honest, in our eyes, they were the savages. I mean, you don't wipe your behind, you sit there, throw your crap and feces in the middle of the street. Who does that? We had clean water, places of public bathrooms, public bathhouses, steam houses to keep you clean. But again, that's beside the point. It also says that it's important to know that for many Native Americans, Thanksgiving is a day of mourning and protest since it commemorates the arrival of settlers in the North American and centuries of oppression and genocide that follows. Organized by the United American Indians of New England in 1970, the fourth Thursday in November, Thanksgiving, is recognized as the National Day of Mourning for Native Americans and their allies, which is the Native Americans and the Hispanic people, the Aztec warriors, the Aztecian people. It's those people that are in mourning. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, Turkey mushrooms. But it says it's a day of mourning. It's not a day of celebration that everybody thinks that it is. That is a day of mourning for the Native American Indians and the Hispanic people. It's like it. I was in the wrong chapter. All right. But yeah, it says it's important to know that for many Native Americans, Thanksgiving is a day of mourning and protest since it commemorates the arrival of settlers the North American and centuries of oppression and genocide that followed. It was organized by the United American Indians of New England in 1970. The fourth Thursday in November, Thanksgiving is recognized as the National Day of Mourning for Native American and their allies. Many people gather at Coal Hill in Plymouth for an organized rally in the day of mourning on Thanksgiving. Again, we got the book of Jeremiah 14:2. When it says, okay, I'm going to explain it as I go. It says, Judah mourneth. And it's not just talking about just straight Judah, which is the so-called blacks. It's talking about all 12 tribes. Okay, we're talking about, in this sense, the Native Americans. In this sense, the Aztec people. Because Judah is one of the, is part of the 12 tribes. So all Judah, all of Israel, the Israelites. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. It's saying, Judah mourneth, though the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Give me 1 second. It's lying. All right. Let me repeat that. The book of Jeremiah 14:2, it says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. Okay, right here where it says, and the gates thereof, the gates in this sense is like the protectors, because that's exactly what a gate is. A gate is something that protects your property. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like a line of defense. That's why it's a fence. And if you don't know what the definition of language is, it's like destroyed or destroy. I mean, not destroy. It's destroyed. Okay. Here's the definition of language. Language is loose or lack of vitality. Vitality is grow weak or feeble. Waste away, rot, decay, grow weak, weaken, and or deteriorate it. That's what it says. The gates thereof languish. The protection, the gates thereof languish. Our leader, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American leaders. You know what I'm saying? Are weak and therefore can't protect us. Can't get justice for what's going on. Can't sit there and stand up to these oppressors. And we sit there and have a rally every year since 1970. Every year they gather. They gather at Coal Hill in Plymouth for an organized rally and day of mourning on Thanksgiving. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. They're crying up. They're sitting there crying out, letting you know that the day of Thanksgiving is not a day of celebration. It's a day of mourning. Again, in the beginning of it, it says Judah mourneth. And Judah is talking about all of them, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. It says, Thanksgiving, let me read it word for word. Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of the genocide of millions of native people, the theft of native lands, and the relentless assault on native culture. Participants in National Day of Mourning honor native ancestors and the struggles of native peoples to survive today, and spiritual connection as well as a protest of the racism and oppression which Native Americans continue to experience. This is the so-called Native Americans and also the Hispanic people in this tribe. You know what I'm saying? They were taken out of their land and pushed down further into the land, and said that that was all of their land. When most of like pretty much half of America was uh, Native American, and the other half was Hispanic people. But the settlers, the pale-faced devils, came over and claimed it as their own and pushed them out of the land and told them that that's all they owned, even though most of the land is theirs. You know what I'm saying? We still celebrate Thanksgiving to this day. And so, again, those of you Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians that celebrate the Thanksgiving, if you will, you're celebrating the genocide and the murder of millions upon millions so-called Native Americans and Hispanic people. You know what I'm saying? The genocide of a people, the genocide of a race, of your own people at that. But it's because you don't know who your enemy is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you like this: your enemy will sit there and whisper sweet nothings into your ear, because America ain't nothing but your lover, and you in bed with her. And what she doing is she's giving you a little bit of pillow talk. That's all it is. While she's sitting there whispering sweet nothings to you. We're gonna jump to the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. We gotta understand our enemies are they are cunning. They're deceitful. That's one of the main reasons why they're called the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because the word devil is nothing but deceiver. That's what they do. They deceive you with sweet words that come out of their mouth to sit there and make you, cause you to go against the Most High, cause you to sin, cause you to celebrate Thanksgiving, even though you know that it's against the law to eat pork. And I'm pretty sure every Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian is going to have some type of swine on their plate for this pagan holiday. If it ain't the ham, it's the chitlins. If it ain't the chitlins, it's the ham hock and the greens. If it's not that, it's the lard and the dang on the cornbread. You know what I'm saying? Or the ham and the black eyed peas. You know what I'm saying? You eating pork, it's a major sin. But yeah, I think it's okay because that's what was taught to y'all over years and years, decades upon decades. You know what I'm saying? Even though celebrating this it's like disrespecting your brother the Native American, the so-called Native American people, the so-called Aztec people or Hispanic people. Again, they are your people. Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people are one nation that the Most High deemed as his own, his holy people. But I'm going to tell you like this. You got to know who your enemy is. Because if you don't know who your enemy is, then you will always fall short of everything. This is how you can identify some of them. You know what I'm saying? The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. And he's a smooth talking person. You know what I'm saying? They sit there and he speaks something sweet to you. Oh, yeah, man. Y'all know Thanksgiving coming up, man. We got all these deals going on. Y'all better go ahead and start grabbing up your turkey and everything. Go ahead and sit there and tell me what you're thankful for. And then when you go to church, the pastor sit there and agree with it and start bringing it out. Like, yeah, we're thankful for this. You know what I'm saying? If you bless the food and sit there and tell the Most High what you're thankful for, he will bless you. And the Most High ain't hearing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's not hearing it anyway. Because the celebration of that is the going against the Most High, period. Point blank. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. The celebration of Thanksgiving is the way to go. You go ahead, you get you some turkey, you get you some ham, and you go ahead and cook these dishes and pray over it. Bring the pastor over. Bring the whole family together. That's how you get the family together. You can go ahead and bring them together and we can eat. And then to make it so bad, when people come over for the Thanksgiving dinner, they always got these stories. They're called clapback stories or whatever crap you want to talk about. They always got something to say to somebody and somebody's clapping back or, hold up. They're sitting there cracking back and sitting there not taking the crap that's given to them. And then everything is up and everybody is like, oh, you ruined the Thanksgiving. When all in all, you shouldn't be celebrating in the first place. But you always got that one person that everybody wants to pick on, and then they sit there and speak out. And then they be like, that's why you ain't invited to most of the family functions and stuff. It is what it is. But yeah, so they were telling you that the celebration of Thanksgiving is the right way to go. That's what it means by the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. They're telling you to go against the Most High is the best way to go. But you not knowing who you are or your history or your what you are, you go with it. Because we as a people, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, are in love with America so much that we sit there and follow their customs. We sit there and go to bed with everything that they got to say. We understand nothing because as a people, we are destroyed. In the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. My people are destroyed. We are destroyed. We think it's okay to celebrate Thanksgiving. It's okay to sit there and eat pork on this day and pray over it and give thanks and say what we're thankful for. All in all, our enemies are sitting there out there training to kill, to unalive us. Salahi. to unalive us daily. I just sat there and watched a video of 73 Black, Hispanic, and Native American people unalived by the police. And they wasn't even armed. They're threatened by you just because you walk down the street and look different, talk different, dress different. They're intimidated by you because they know who you are. And they're afraid that if you become who you really supposed to be and not be like in Hosea 4 and 6, and that's destroyed for lack of knowledge, then they already know that their rule is coming to an end. So once you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, put down that fork and push away that Thanksgiving plate, come back to the Most High and start celebrating the laws. I mean, the real high holy days, and upholding the laws that the Most High has given us. Slacky about that. Do bear with me. But like I said, we are rejecting the Most High's knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We rejecting it because we sit there and we still celebrate this pagan holiday. We celebrate this year after year after year, even though we shouldn't. You shouldn't even want to celebrate a pagan holiday that disrespects and undermines your own people. No, you gotta go out and you gotta eat your ham hocks and collard greens and turkey and ham, whatever you want to do on your Thanksgiving. Over there eating on chitlins, disgusting. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but you over there eating on poop noodles. That's what it is. Pig intestines. All the filth and the garbage and everything that they've eaten throughout their lives is right there in you pull out and you sit there and you peel and you boil and eat. That's why your house smell like slime. That's why it don't smell right when you walk into people's houses on Thanksgiving, because they got chitlins broiling. All types of things. You know what I'm saying? You over there. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You don't understand why the Native American Indians and the Hispanic people are up and mad and mourning about this day. Instead of doing a little bit of research and wondering why this is happening, you go and celebrate it. And then there are some Native Americans who don't know the history and celebrate it due to the fact that they aren't even in touch with their Native American roots. I'm gonna tell you like this: before I came into the truth, I was one of those people. I didn't understand anything until I went out and did some research and I learned what really happened. What happened to my people on that day? What all the atrocities that they have done to my people? And that's to the blacks, Hispanics, and the Native American Indians. Those are my people. Right here where it says my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, it means all blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. It's not meaning one of the 12 tribes. It's not meaning just one nation. I mean one set of part of the race. It's talking about my people as a whole, as a unit, as one. My people. He's not talking about the the Israelis, the Pakistanians, or the Chinese, or any of the other nations out there. He's only talking about the black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians. My people are destroyed. My people are going insane. They're eating pork and dying, unaliving themselves every day due to the fact that eating pork. Okay, let me put it like this: eating pork causes so many things to go wrong with the human body because the consumption of swine is not meant to be consumed by humans. They have this saying, "You are what you eat." So if you eat trash, you are trash. Pigs eat trash, so they're the garbage disposal. They're like a garbage dump. They're trash. So now you are ingesting trash into your body. Now you're becoming sick. Now you have high blood pressure. You have worms. You have all types of things that's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever wondered why you got this weird sty out of nowhere? Or all types of stuff that happens? You know what I'm saying? It's because of the pork. Your blood pressure's so high. It's pork. Every time you eat swine, you sit there and you feel bloated. Everything feels like it's done swole up and it stings a little bit. It's pork. The scriptures say, I sit there and say, the scriptures say, the scriptures say, the scriptures say. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 8. And it says, and the swine. If you don't know what swine is, that's pork. I've been sitting there saying swine pretty much all night. Because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud. It is unclean unto you. It's unclean. It's an unclean animal. It's not something that's fit to be eaten by humans. And this is coming out of the Bible in the book of Deuteronomy. This is Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? And just for you people that's out there talking about the old law has been done away with, I can prove to you that it's not done away with. It says in the book of Matthew that he's not coming to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. And it says, think not I have come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. That's New Testament. It's like I was saying, this is New Testament. All right, for you people that sit there and say that the old law has been done away with, in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17, it says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets." You know what I'm saying? He's not coming to destroy the prophets or the law or the prophets. You know what I'm saying? The people that's out there teaching the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the scriptures, which is the Isupk, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana. It's been around since 1969. You know what I'm saying? Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy. He's not coming to get rid of it. He's not trying to move it out the way. He's not trying to do anything to it, but to fulfill. He's coming to make it happen, make it known, make it so. As it was in the days of old, as it is in the days of new. It's going to be done whether you like it or not. That's what's going to happen. Not my problem. And it says in 18, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass." You know what the heavens and the earth is. If you go outside right now and look up to the sky, that's the heavens. You look down on the ground, and that's the earth. Till the heavens and the earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Excuse me, sorry about that. They're saying not one line is going to be messed up or moved or sat there and situated to where to fit anybody else's needs. Everything that's written is going to be so. And that's until the heavens and the earth are gone. And if you look to the right of the sky, if you look up and look right, you see nothing but the heavens. If you look up to the left, you still see nothing but heavens. If you look up straight ahead, it's still nothing but heavens. And then when you look down the same ways, you see earth. It's not going to end. It's not going to pass. The old law is not done away with. The old law is still in effect as it is the new. So, when it says in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 8, "And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcasses." Shouldn't even be thinking about touching the dead carcasses. That's the ham that's on your plate. That's the chitlins, the pig feet, or whatever y'all want to eat. That's considered swine. All of that you got for your Thanksgiving that you ready to cook all day and night for, ain't even supposed to be eating it. First off. And then people sit there and be like, well, what if I take out the pork? What if I get rid of the pork? What if I go ahead and eat something else? What if I make something else? You're still in the celebration of a pagan holiday that the Lord has not deemed to be your day to uphold. He gave you a set certain days to uphold. He gave you high holy days, several of them, in fact. Good night, man. It's, again, Salah here. He gave you 9 high holy days to uphold. 9. And these days are glorious. Ever since I came into the truth and I've upheld every last one, tried to observe every last one that I knew of, now I'm in an active school where they celebrate all of them. So now I get to experience what it's really like to uphold all the high holy days. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. We got in December, we got a high holy day coming up. The Feast of the Dedication, which is the Hanukkah. Listen, it's not Hanukkah, it's Hanukkah. For you don't know what that is, it's the Feast of Dedication in English. It's the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, which is going to be Thursday, the 7th of December, 2023, for 8 days. And you can find that in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 through 61. That's the Feast of Dedication. You get together and you celebrate. 8 days. Now think about this. 8 days of feasting and celebrating and hanging out with your brothers, if you will. Versus 1 day of arguing and getting into it with your family members over freaking food. Because, you know, somebody is going to start something and something is going to happen. Happens every year. It happens every year. It's either somebody didn't like the fact that the potato salad was cooked too hard and it was too salty, or the macaroni and cheese was not macking or cheesy enough. You know what I'm saying? Or the fact that you eating on pork that's super dry right along with the turkey. Don't get me started on the day of Christmas. That pagan holiday is it's a whole nother story. Right now we're talking about Thanksgiving because it's coming up soon. It's coming up real soon. You know what I'm saying? This day that y'all are going to be up there celebrating and thinking that the Most High is with y'all because of this celebration that y'all about to have. And I'm here to tell you this now. He's not with you. He's not going to be with you for this celebration. He's not. I believe it's in the book of Amos. I was right. In the book of Amos 5 and 21. For y'all that think that the Most High is going to be with y'all while y'all consuming that pork, celebrating that day of thanks, when it's the thanks of killing the genocides or your people dying as a nation. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to celebrate. That's what Thanksgiving is about. Okay? For you to sit there and go home, because I know I've talked with many people and they say the same thing. I don't care what anybody else say. I'm just going to go celebrate this day and give my thanks to the Lord for what He's done for me. I'm here to tell you now, He's not with you on that day. He's not with you. You don't even want to hear it, smell it, or think about it. It's like it. The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. It says, I hate. For those of you that sit there and be like, oh, there's no hate in the Bible. God doesn't hate. There it is right there, plain as day. I hate. I despise your feast days. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm going to tell you like this. He says, I hate. This is book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. It says, I hate and I despise your feast days. He hates and he despises your feast days. Valentine's Day, birthdays, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, New Year's Eve, New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. He hates those days and he despises them. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know what the word despise means, the definition of despise is to feel contempt or deep repugnance for. You know what I'm saying? Detest, hate, loathe, abhor. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you like this. As a Native American Indian, I abhor that day. If you don't know what abhor is, it's regard with disgust and hatred. Okay? I find it disgusting that my people, my Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian brothers and sisters are out there celebrating this pagan holiday and giving thanks. Don't you understand? That's like the same thing as wearing a cross around your neck. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing as parading around town with you just say you unalive somebody. You parading around town with a murder weapon. That person would be despised and looked down upon. It's the same thing. You out there celebrating the genocide and the unaliving of a people just to give thanks to someone who already said that he hates and despises it. Let me go ahead and keep reading. It says, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. And it's like, I hate and I despise your feast days. I will not smell what you cooking. I'm pretty sure y'all remember that saying when The Rock be like, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? That's what y'all doing. Y'all coming out there, do you smell what I'm cooking on Thanksgiving? He hates and he despises that day. He despises all pagan holidays that he did not deem worthy for you. He gave you 9 high holy days to uphold. Well, it's not 9 days in total. It's 9 high holy days. It's the Sabbath, which is Friday sundown until Saturday sundown. It's the 7th day of every week. Friday sundown until Saturday sundown. and sundown begins a new day. This is how we celebrate every high holiday. It starts that sundown to the end of the next sundown. You know what I'm saying? So if it's for the span of 7 days, okay, we're going to start that sundown, right? On the day that it says, okay, let's take the Feast of Hanukkah that's coming up. So Thursday, December 7th, at sundown is when it starts. And then 8 days later, you know what I'm saying? 8 days later, on that eighth day at sundown is when it ends. That's how it is. From sundown to sundown. The Sabbath day. Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown is the high holy day. It's a day of rest. These are nothing but days of rest, days of celebration, days of feasts. You know what I'm saying? Good night. Good night. But because because we sit there and we do this, we celebrate these high holy, I mean not high holy days, because we celebrate these pagan holidays, because we deem those better than the Most High's high holy days. Because I'm pretty sure that you still gonna celebrate Thanksgiving this year. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna sit there and celebrate Christmas coming up. You know what I'm saying? But you're still not gonna celebrate the Feast of Hanukkah. You're not gonna celebrate, uphold, or observe the Sabbath day. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna sit there and do that. But because we did that, and we continue to do that, we were cut off. We were punished pretty much for the same things that we're doing now is what we were punished for. You know what I'm saying? We was punished because we sat there and we were still following the customs of our oppressor or of our captor or I'll just go ahead and get it for you. We were cut off. We were cut off from everything. You know what I'm saying? Because we disobeyed the Most High. Because we decided we wanted to go and follow other gods and worship idols and everything that was not of the Most High. We was doing everything that was opposite of what He wanted us to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the book of Hosea 4, verse 3. Again, like it says right here in the native hope. Why it says why Thanksgiving is also a national day of mourning. You know what I'm saying? Like it says, Thanksgiving Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of a genocide of millions of Native people, which is the Hispanic and Native Americans. I'm gonna have to keep reiterating that so you can understand more. It says it's a reminder of the genocide of millions of Native people, the theft of Native lands, and the relentless assault on Native cultures, participants in National Day of Mourning. You know what I'm saying? We got the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 3. Because of the celebration of Thanksgiving, okay? Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. You know what I'm saying? We Native Americans and the Hispanic people are in the day of mourning. The land is mourning because of the celebration of a day that was a genocide of a people, the killing of a people. I've said this a lot. Thanksgiving was just killed into us. It was not something that we observed and upheld. Excuse me. It was not something that we upheld. It was something that was not given to us. More like if we didn't celebrate it, we were going to die. We were going to be unalived, pretty much. It says, it's crazy. Thanksgiving as a holiday originates from the Native American philosophy of giving without expecting anything in return. In the first celebration of this holiday, the Wampanoag tribe, Salahia, I may have butchered that up, provided not only the food for the feast, but also the teachings of agriculture and hunting. So we taught them how to hunt and how to grow food, and so they wouldn't starve throughout the winter. We taught them how to do things to keep themselves alive because they didn't know anything. First, they get off the ships, disgusting, dirty. You know what I'm saying? They get off the ship, disgusting and dirty. The Hispanic people sat there and cleansed them with incense and gave them baths. I'm pretty sure the Native Americans did the same thing. But we felt bad for them, so we taught them how to hunt. We taught them how to grow food. We taught them how to survive the winter. And what did they do? It's crazy. It says, now, regardless of the day's ambiguous origin, many Native Americans will gather with friends and family and use this day to eat good food and give thanks. See, even the Native Americans that forgot who they are, forgot what happened. Again, because it was killed into us. It was instilled into us by murder, by unaliving. If we didn't celebrate it, it was you were being unalived for it. That's pretty much what it was. So now even the Native Americans, right along with the blacks and Hispanics, gather together for this day. And they celebrate. They sit there and they get together and eat good classical Thanksgiving food. But that's crazy. Again, it's a day of mourning. It's a day of genocide. You know what I'm saying? It says, there is obviously nothing wrong with black families coming together on any day to enjoy each other's company. But there is obviously a lot wrong with black families coming together on any day to enjoy a racist genocide, even if they do it unknowingly and unintentionally. They even give you a picture of what happened that day. Let's see if I can. It says the massacre of the Christian Indians. Of the number thus cruelly murdered by the backwoodsmen of the Upper Ohio, between 50 and 60 were women and children, some of them innocent babies. I wish I could just go ahead and put this up so you can see it as well. I'm not really sure how to do that yet, but I will get it done so we can have this done next time. You know what I'm saying? It says, the foundation of that racist genocide and the land that became America began 401 years ago, and it continued relentlessly with such horrors like the one among thousands of others shown in the image above. They were going around unaliving the Native American Indians, unaliving the Hispanic people. You know what I'm saying? It was the Manhattan Massacre of 1782 when pale-faced devils, militiamen from here in the Pennsylvania viciously murdered 96 innocent men, women, and children in Ohio during the Revolutionary War because those victims were pacifists who didn't side with either Britain or America. And as documented in A Woman of Courage on the West Virginia Frontier by Robert Townsend, the militiamen, before murdering the males and females, dragged the women and girls out into the snow and systematically sexually abused them. By the way, the murders of the men, women, and children, as well as the sexual assaults of the women and girls, occurred despite the fact that all those so-called Indians had previously and publicly converted to Christianity. And the pale-faced militiamen knew that. Keep in mind that the racist genocide didn't end in 1782. Its tragic residual remains to this very day. It was 401 years ago, on November 9th, 1621, or as early as September 21st, as some scholars have determined, in the Plymouth Mass, when pilgrims from England supposedly celebrated their first so-called Thanksgiving feast with the Wampanoag Nation a year after their arrival on the land of those indigenous people. Man, good night. It's a murder of a people, man. Y'all celebrating this Thanksgiving, and y'all celebrating the genocide of what they did to your own people, man. I don't see how this isn't messing you up in the head. Like, it pretty much messed me up when I first found out the truth behind this. You know what I'm saying? I sat there and I did my research and I was wondering what my grandma was talking about. So now I'm looking at this stuff. I'm finding out more and more information. And it's crazy. It's even more crazy to see it even more vividly right here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more to read. I'm going to go ahead and go home and read more of this after class. Because that's what I want to do. I want to learn more. As Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, y'all should want to know more too. Y'all should want to know what happened on that day. What was the reason for them? Even though they don't have a reason, it's just because they are wicked. These devils are wicked people. Again, they will speak sweetly in your ear, as a lover would. Their words is going to be as smooth as butter, telling you it's okay to go ahead and go against the Most High. It's okay to celebrate the pagan holidays. It's okay to do what you want to do. When we have in the Holy Bible, we have 613 laws, statutes, and commandments that we are to uphold. You know what I'm saying? Not just 10. If any of y'all thought that it was just 10, your pastor lied to you, because that's the only way you was going to find out. I mean, understand where that came from is through your Christian pastor or your Catholic priest. You know what I'm saying? You was going to find out that through them. Because, again, you shouldn't be trusting your enemies. We trust our enemies so much that we believe them all the time. All these years that we still believe them. Like now, on the day of Thanksgiving, I know most of the churches is going to be open and celebrating these pagan holidays, right? Thanksgiving coming up, I know they're going to sit there and give out hot plates. They're giving out hot plates and they sitting there feeding the poor. They feeding you swine and everything, you know what I'm saying? They want you to live in poverty. They want you to live destroyed. And I'm here in the ISUPK to give you knowledge so you won't be destroyed. So you can understand what it means to be an Israelite. So you can understand that these 613 laws, statutes, and commandments are there to help you. They are instrumental to you. They're not grievous. They're not grievous at all. These laws, statutes, and commandments, when it says grievous, it means it's not hard. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to uphold them. It's not hard to observe them. What's hard to do is to fight against everything that tells you that it's okay to go against it. But I'm going to tell you like this. Once you battle that battle and fight that fight and win the win, it feels good to do that. It feels good to win that battle. I'm going to tell you like this. It's been years since I've actually thought of the day of Thanksgiving as a celebration. After finding out what really happened, what was really going on, I didn't really want to celebrate it no more. Bad enough, I was wondering, why did my grandma not really like to celebrate this day? Why is it that when that day comes around and my dad would go in there and they'd be in there cooking and stuff, she'd be in there all sad and mad and all up in her room by herself. I used to hang out with her all the time. This woman to sit there and give you some straight up answers that you ain't even ready to hear. And when I finally asked her, she told me to go look it up. She told me to go do my research, look it up, find out. I want you to find out. I want you to see for yourself. It's like I'm telling you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, find out. Come into the school and learn and look for a new angle on how to live. Look for a way to get the breath of life given back to you. Stop walking around living as a sack of bones. Come in. We welcome you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians. This is a place where men are taught to be men and women are taught to be what a woman is. You know what I'm saying? In this place, we don't sit there and unalive our brothers and sisters. We don't sell our brothers and sisters any kind of drugs That's a sin to sit there and be smoking or doing any kind of drugs. And quite frankly, it's gay. You look weak. You look sus doing that too. You over there getting high off of this stuff. You got a phallic type object that you put your dang on what you call it in it, and you light it up, and then you put your mouth on it and pull. I'm not even gonna say that word because that word sounds too sus for me. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a major pause moment, but it is what it is. You look weird, foolish, and sus smoking and getting high. You're weak. You're not strong. You're not a man. I don't see that as a strength. I see that as a weakness. My people, again, in the book of Hosea 4 and 6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You are destroyed. You are not all the way there, man. You know how they say Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall and he had a great fall and and they couldn't put him back together again? Right now, you are that Humpty Dumpty that fell off the wall and are shattered and destroyed. And we're trying, as the ISUPK, we're trying to put those pieces back together. We're giving you the knowledge to build you back up as a people. But the only way for it to sit there and stick like glue is for you to accept it. For you to understand what we are trying to teach you is not something that's detrimental to you. That's not harmful to you. We're not trying to hurt you. We're trying to heal you. Now, in this Bible right here, in the Holy Bible, the King James Version, you know what I'm saying? 613 laws, statutes, and commandments are meant for you. They're all meant for you. And my job is to teach you the law. My job is to give you the law that you were supposed to follow. There are laws in here that could prevent you from dying. There are laws in here that will keep you alive for years. There's laws in here that if you break, you would die. The same laws that you don't know that you're breaking, you know what they are now and you will learn them. So you won't be sitting there all depressed and oppressed. You know those black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians you see walking down the street talking to themselves or living out in they sleeping bags and feeling destitute and they don't know what to do with their minds? They're going insane. This is why. Because it's like, hey, shalom. How y'all doing? But yeah. Shalom. Y'all about some shit, dog. But yeah. That's because as a people we are destroyed. In the ISUPK, we're trying to build up those broken people. We're not trying to be out there like everybody else and teaching you what we think the law should be. We are out here teaching you what the law is and how the law should be. Not should be. But we will teach you the right way to follow the law. That's what we're supposed to be doing. I didn't get a chance to mute that. Please don't tell me I've been doing this on mute for this entire time. Um, what did I do with it? All right. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like I was saying, let's lock it 1 second. 5 and 21. Okay, there we go. But yeah, okay. So this pagan holiday that's coming up is coming up quickly too. The Thanksgiving, which is the celebration of the genocide of a people. You know what I'm saying? And for y'all blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that's out there upholding that day in high esteem, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you like this: when you sit there and pray that the Most High is there with you, He's not gonna be with you. You know what I'm saying? Because that day is a day that He hates. He really hates it. He despises it. Pretty much the same way I would sit there and tell you every day that I abhor that day because I know the meaning behind it. I know what happened to the people on that day. You know what I'm saying? And we've been pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? We've been so destroyed that we think that that day is a day of celebration. I talked to several black, Hispanic, and Native American people, and they say the same thing. They say it all the time. Well, I don't care what anybody else say. I'm just gonna give my thanks for what he's done for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and celebrate it my way. Now, you know what I tell them every time? The Most High is not gonna be with you on that day. He's not. That day that you over there celebrating is going against the Most High. Period. Point blank. Celebrating that day is the celebration of the murdering of your people. How would you feel if I was to celebrate the day of your death by hanging out with your murderer? I asked him that. You know what he said to me? I think that'd be rude, man. That's crazy, man. That's how I feel about celebrating the day of Thanksgiving with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because in the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21, it says, I despise your feast days. It said, I hate. For, for it to say, I hate, is some crazy stuff because people sit there and say, there's no hate in the Bible. Right there is clearly hate. It's clearly hate. And he despises. And despise is, the definition for despise is to feel contempt or a deep repugnance. You know what I'm saying? It's to detest, hate, loathe, or abhor. And I'm pretty sure I said I abhorred that day. Every time it's brought up or celebrated, I abhor it. I look at you like you're crazy for celebrating that day. I look at the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian like they're really crazy for celebrating the genocide of their own people. You sit there and you want to celebrate the murder of your people. It's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because, again, why would you want to sit there and celebrate the murder of your people with the murderer? You you see how that sounds? It sounds crazy. It sounds insane. Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, you need to stop celebrating that day. You need to go ahead and stop being with the pale-faced devils on that day. Come back to the Most High and celebrate the high holy days that He gave us, like the one that's coming up, the Feast of Dedication, the Feast of Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying? Which is the Feast of Dedication in English. Again, it's on the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. And starting that Thursday, December 7th at sundown, count 8 days. On that 8th day at sundown is when it ends. You know what I'm saying? You got this celebration of eating unlawful foods, swine, which is in the book of Deuteronomy and also the book of Leviticus, where it tells you that you shouldn't even be touching the dead carcass of a swine because it's unclean unto you. I'm going to go ahead and get that for you anyway, so you can understand what I mean. That's the one. But yeah, it's like swine is not something that we should be eating. In the book of Leviticus, I'm going to do Deuteronomy 14 and 8, and then I'm going to go to Leviticus. Because it says it twice, so I got to go ahead and read it for you twice. It says, and the swine. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 8. And the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud. You know what I'm saying? Just like the cow eats the cud, which is like the grass, the hay, and everything. So it eats plants and it digests and it's good for you. You know what I'm saying? Swine will eat anything that you give it. You know what I'm saying? You can sit there and give it garbage cans. You can give it corn, or you can give it leftover animal parts. You can give it other carcasses of animals, and it will eat it alive if it wants to. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the movie Hannibal Lecter, where in the scene where he fed a human to the pigs and they ate it. Pigs are disgusting. They will eat anything. It does not cheweth of the cud. It does not eat the grass and the hay that's out there for, like the cows do. It is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh. None of that ham, that carving up the ham, or eating pig feet, chitlins, or ham hocks and your collard greens. Because I'm pretty sure that's most of what your dish is going to consist of on Thanksgiving. It is nothing but pork. It's sad, but it's true. Nor touch their dead carcass. That's crazy. And look, it's to the point where it had to be said again in the book of Leviticus. Oh wait, Leviticus came before Deuteronomy. I should have went to Leviticus and then Deuteronomy. But either way it go, it had to be said more than once for you to understand. It says in the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7, and the swine, though he divided the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. Like they gave us animals that we can and cannot eat. The Most High gave us things that is good for us. This is why we need the law. This is why we should be following and learning the law so we know how to live. This right here, this book is our way of living. This is the life. This is the breath of life. This is what we need to live. But we so destroyed, we don't want to sit there and pay heed. We don't want to listen to it. We sit there and find out that Christ is a black man. No, 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 no. That's exactly what they say all the time. My aunt told me, like, this woman told me. This is also another woman that's like my aunt too. She told me Christ is a white man. I was like, prove it. And she tried to tell me that he was an olive man. I was like, if you look at olives, they come in 3 different shades. They got green, brown, and black. I have never seen an albino olive before. I have never seen the description of Christ being of a stringy-haired dog complexion. Because that's what the description that they're giving out, the paintings and the white man that's hanging on the cross in the Christian churches. That's not Christ. Because in the book of Revelations, I said Revelations, like it's more than one. It's the book of Revelation. And the revelation means to reveal. You know what I'm saying? The description of Christ, it says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and they girt about the golden paps with a golden girdle. So this is a man that they seen out there, and he's clothed with a garment, like you see the priests and officers out there speaking on the streets, the Isupk, and you see them in these garments that y'all call, y'all call us, what, Power Rangers? Weirdos. Clothed down to the foot with like war apparel, like the garments that we wear on Sabbath service or high holy days. Clothed down to the foot in a girt, which is something that goes across the gut, that protects the gut. You know what I'm saying? It was a golden girdle. It was a golden belt that goes across the gut. His head and his hairs were white like wool. You know what I'm saying? His head and his hairs were like, it gave you a texture of the hair right along with the color. My hair isn't white, but it is of a woolly complexion. Woolly texture. As white as snow. It was as white as this. You know what I'm saying? It was about as white as this. This texture, but this color. I'm pretty sure you've seen brothers out there that have that complexion, and then they also have the hair to match. You know what I'm saying? These are like older brothers, older gentlemen of the the Black, Hispanic, and Native American race. You know what I'm saying? And his eyes were as a flame of fire. His eyes was like red, like they were blood red because he was drinking. Because he liked to drink. And his feet like unto fine brass. Brass is another color of brown. You know what I'm saying? And his voice is the sound of many waters. Oh, wait, it's like as if they burned in a furnace. So if you burn something, it's not going to come out this color. It's going to come out this color, pretty much a shiny black. because that's what happens when you leave something in the oven. Say you put something in the oven and you fell asleep and you woke up like, oh crap, let me go get my food. And you pull out the dang on food and it's all burnt to a crisp. What color is it? This color. It's black. Is that color? Black. You know what I'm saying? So that means he was a dark skinned brother. And his voice as the sound of many waters. When it says the sound of many waters, if you think of many waters, you think of the ocean, and the ocean is extremely deep. So they saying like his voice was of many waters, like it was a really deep voice. That's the description that they give of Christ. Yo, please don't hit the cabbage patch. But yeah, back to what I was saying though. The celebration of Thanksgiving is the celebration of the genocide of a people. You know what I'm saying? And that feast day is hated. It's abhorred. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But yeah. If y'all want to find out more information like what I was just reading about, y'all can find it on the pencapital-star.com. It's the Native American. It's a reminder for your holiday table. Thanksgiving celebrates a racist genocide. You know what I'm saying? 401 years. 401 years of a genocide that still is ongoing now. I mean, have you ever looked at how your Native American brothers are living right now? Have you? Have you ever sat there and looked to see what's going on with your people? No, you have not. Instead, you want to sit there and be happy and merry and celebrate the killing of your own people. It's like you want to celebrate the killing the of the genocide of your own people, but you know not what you are sitting there celebrating. You know not of the history behind these days. You know not of anything. Black, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people. You don't know what you're celebrating. You don't know that each thing that's on the Thanksgiving plate is a representation of what happened to the people. Like the man, there was this book, okay? I just so happened to come across it in the library. They was getting rid of it. On the front cover, it was just a Native American Indian on a horse. There was no title. It was like a journal. And it documented what really happened on each day, like the days and everything that went on. And it had Thanksgiving in there. It had the murder of the buffaloes. It had the the it's like it had everything in there. You know what I'm saying? It was about that big, that tall, that wide, and that thick. You know what I'm saying? Full of journal entries after journal entries. And I was like, this is crazy. but it didn't have a title, so I can't really give you a title of what it was. But it had history in there. And I knew it was history because when I looked up what was going on each of those dates, it pretty much said the same things. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find that book again. I got to. It's let's see. I'm gonna read you a little bit more of what happened. So it says, it was 401 years ago on November 9th. Oh, I read this one already. When the pilgrims from England supposedly celebrated their first so-called Thanksgiving feast with the Wampanoag nation a year after their arrival on the land of those indigenous people. Tragically, those trusting Wampanoag men, women, and children had no idea that the unimaginable hell of widespread death and massive land robbery would soon follow. Our people, the Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, are so kind to everybody because that's what's in us. That's part of our DNA. That's part of our structure. That's how we were built. We were built to be kind. You know what I'm saying? And fearsome when we needed to be. Right now, we don't need to be kind. We need to be fearsome. Come back to the ISUPK. Come home. Come home to the truth. Come back to the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us. Learn who you are as a people. Okay? And the scriptures say, well, I got it in my hand. All right, Ecclesiasticus. Twelve. 10. All right. See, like I said, the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians are trusting people. That's how we were built. We are more on trusting each other and finding trust in people that we don't see what we need to see. It's time for us to open our eyes and see what we need to. It says, just because we are trusting people, it says, tragically, those trusting Wampanoag men, women, and children had no idea that the unimaginable hell of widespread death and massive land robbery would soon follow. In the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10, it says, never trust thine enemy. At that time, we didn't know that he was our enemy. We didn't know any better. Even though the scriptures say never to trust thy enemy, we didn't know he was our enemy. We didn't know the so-called pale-faced devils was our enemies until it was too late. But here and now, we know who the enemies are, and ISUPK has been telling you since 1969. I mean, the truth has been around longer than that, but we in the ISUPK, we've been telling you since 1969. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. I don't know if you've ever seen a cast iron skillet out in the rain or in water without being washed. It gets rusty real quick. It turns into like a dusty copper. You know what I'm saying? It rusts and it erodes. It decays. You know what I'm saying? That's how you should think of them pale-faced devils. those enemies, you should never trust them because their wickedness is for sure in them. Just like you are for sure that that cast iron skillet is going to rust. Just like you are for sure that if you leave anything that's made of iron is going to rust. At this time, we didn't know. When the Pilgrims arrived on the Mayflower in 1620, they didn't bring thanks. They didn't even give thanks. Instead, they brought racist genocide and gave nothing. And they eventually succeeded in mass killing and mass land robbery, not because they were smarter or stronger, but because they were genocidal racists who, in addition to committing many other crimes against humanity, initiated the use of a weapon of mass destruction that previously had been unheard of on this land. There you go. For like as iron rusted, so is their wickedness. These devils are nothing but wicked. Straight up wicked. There's nothing more for me to say to you. They are wicked down to the bone, down to their DNA. And you want to sit there and be with them and celebrate the genocide of your own people. Disgusting. Salakia. But as a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, you should be abhorring that day. You shouldn't celebrate it. Stop celebrating. You should hate it. You should abhor it. Start celebrating the Most High's high holy days. Start upholding the Sabbath. Start with the Feast of Dedication. That's what's coming up. The Feast of Hanukkah. December 7th, 2023. 8 days. All right. But I'm going to tell you something. The conclusion of the whole matter. All right. Yeah, 1 second. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. We are to fear God, fear the Most High, keep his commandments. And that's not celebrating Thanksgiving. That's not eating pork. You know what I'm saying? Fear God, keep his commandments. And the only way you're going to learn his law, the law, statutes, and commandments is if you come into the truth. Come into the school. Or you can sit there and watch our classes online. But make sure you pay your tithes. These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Again, Like I was saying, fear God and keep his commandments. Tithes, which is a commandment. So this is something that you need to keep. You can find that in Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. It's a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like would be appreciated. The upcoming Holy Convocation, which is the Feast of Dedication, which is the Feast of Hanukkah. Thursday, December 7th, 2023, for 8 days. You can find that in the first Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52 through 61. Make sure to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and or scarf. So it'll be this or this. You know what I'm saying? Or a scarf, a black scarf, a plain black scarf that'll go around your head. You know what I'm saying? With that, we're going to give a courtesy salute. Shalom. Yahba Shemi Al Thumb to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Thumb Shemi Al Shah to my sisters. That's my time.